It's team up time. We're having Iori team up with this Karose guy, and the guy seems mildly comedic right now. He seems kind of funny, but I don't think he's gonna be like a comedic relief character. I think it's just gonna be one of those characters who just has a very strange personality. Like, even while they're like the very first page, they're starting their mission, and he's like hitting on some woman, and yeah, I'm like, man, do your thing, but aren't you guys like working right now? You have like a mission you're supposed to do. You should probably might have to save this for after. I mean, but I guess they're not. They haven't even made it to their destination yet. So honestly, I think he might be in the clear. Either way, like, he's an interesting character so far. I think this guy's neat. His design is all right. I think that like he's got like this kind of like a little bit more stylish suit, adds a little bit extra to his character. There's a degree of just kind of chillness to this dude that I'm really hoping plays into like what his fighting style and what he's gonna kind of present to the series. Because right now we just have, okay, he's mildly, he's like low levels of comedic, where it's not like he's a meme, but it's like, okay, yeah, this guy can be pretty funny when he needs to be, or he can be, you know, kind of suave, you know, putting his way out there, trying to talk to some of these gals. But he's with Iori, and Iori, you know, he's got a little bit of a weird personality. He doesn't really like to work, but he's annoyed with this guy to the point he's like, can we just do the job so I can go home, pretty much. He's just like, listen, I'm not out here to watch you hit on the girls. Like, can we just get this done? I don't have time to do this right now, and I've got time to waste. So, like, you have a guy who I can willingly say, like, I can bet that he's not gonna be somebody who's gonna like risk mission and be dumb. Like, this Kurosa guy, I feel like he's very accomplished. He's probably like a very skilled individual, and he's somebody though that seems to be fine, like being a little bit more relaxed and like comfortable when it comes to doing a job than Kurose, or than Iori. Iori seems like somebody who would just be like, get in, get out, let's do this, like find what might benefit me, but for the most part, like, let's just do stuff and be done with it. He doesn't seem like he generally wants to waste time, because he doesn't like doing this job. We already know that. So putting him with somebody who's fine wasting a little bit of time like this, I think makes sense for their characters to not get along too much. But I definitely like both of them. I think this Kurosa dude is pretty cool so far. I'm just really looking forward to seeing like what's it gonna be like when action comes down. Like, I'm hoping he's not a character who ends up just being kind of like a weakling and he has to get saved by Iori, because this is a guy I'm hoping we can see more of this dude. I'm hoping to see more of him in like fights and stuff in the future, but we'll see. Well, we don't really know obviously right now. He could just be like, oh, I'm an intel character, or I'm like a sensory type or something, and he's not like a fighter. I'm hoping not. Like I said, this guy's kind of cool. He doesn't come off like bad. Doesn't seem like he'd be like one of those characters that ends up being like a traitor or corrupt or whatever. And it seems like he's a cool dude. But there is note of some girl phantom, and there's like part where when it's like, oh, Iori feels responsible for this phantom. I kind of wish I knew more about like the Japanese yokai and like monsters and stuff, because like when they talk about it, like Senju Doji, and I don't really know what that is. Like, I'm sure that it would be like if in English, like in America, or like something like Bigfoot, it's probably like, oh yeah, it's cool, like, you know, that name doesn't mean it's going to be the exact same figure. It could be something way worse, or something like a complete misdirection. But I'm sure like the Senju Doji, like for Japanese people, like they know what that is, and they can look into it. Like I didn't mention it during my I'm Dead on Luck review, but there's like a part where they mentioned some guy Tezuka, and I looked it up. I was like, oh yeah, it's the guy who made Astro Boy, and they like, he's like regarded as kind of like the Japanese Walt Disney. He's kind of like what Walt Disney is to animation, but he is to like the manga and stuff, and like Japanese story making. So it's like, oh, okay, cool. Like, there's a name drop in there. Like, you can Google it, or you know, if you know more about like the, you know, the history and stuff, then you'll understand way more than just a reference. Like, I'm sure if I knew more about this Senju Doji thing, I'd be like, oh yeah, like X, Y, and Z, these things, this is what this can relate to, and this is like what we know automatically from just like associating with that name. Either way, I don't really know. You have like this character, like it looks like this little girl, and like they're just like bouncing a ball, and it's done in like this like way more kind of like luminescent like art style. Like it looks like pastels, and it just looks like it's way more soft. And then after that you see like a body and like all this blood and like a bunch of like hands like morphed together. It looks very strange. I'm wondering exactly how this is gonna work. Like, is it gonna be like just one horrific monster with like a controller? Because these, like, this giant hand is made up of smaller hands, so I'm guessing that it's gonna be like you have this weird little spirit girl, and then like all these like weird like amalgamations of beings like slammed into one body or something. I don't know. I'm very interested about that. And then there's some stuff in there with like you have Kenma. Looks like he's gonna be doing part of the training with Riku, and they're in some like crazy maze thing. I wanted to say that guy's name. Is it MC Escher? Is he the one that like did like the crazy maze? No. Escher. I think MC is like the. I remember like a Family Guy joke. I'm gonna look this up really quick because it's bothering the hell out of me. No, it is MC Escher. I just remember as like a Family Guy reference when they brought up like MC, like he was like kind of like MC Hammer, like he was just in some form of music entertainment. I remember just like the joke around that. I think that's how I remember his name. It's just like the pun, but kind of like that style. We just got the stairways in all directions, and then he's like, okay, we're gonna do Tengu hide and seek. And I'm guessing that she's gonna have to use her powers as like a beckoning hand, and her powers in like sensing danger. I have to like grow those right now, because with her, like, I'm wondering what exactly her like phantom will be, or like how her fighting style is gonna work. But her sensing danger, I think, is a power that she definitely needs to hone, because it's borderline precognition. So it's like spider sense. She essentially is gonna unlock spider sense. So I mean, that's just generally like a super useful power. I don't think anybody's gonna deny that is something that like it's like, yeah, we definitely want that on our team. Like, why would we not want that? That's gonna be hella useful. That's gonna be something that's gonna save their asses in multiple situations if she's able to get that right. But then at the end, like, you have Iori and Kurose, and they're like talking about like this big weird centipede monster that like goes into people's ears and like lures them into like places. And here it is, like the one that they find is gigantic. Like they're inside of this building, and we open one door, and there's like, it's just like a cave. It's this thing's little spatial prison, kind of like its own lair. I think that's just visually really cool, that it'd be like this door that shouldn't be there, and then you open it and it's like it opens into a cave with this horrifying giant monster in it. I think that's just really cool in a horror sense. I think that's just really nice, just thinking about like how spooky that would be to run into that situation. I definitely really like that about Undead Unlock, about Phantom Seer, is it has a little bit of a horror aspect to it, kind of like Jujutsu Kaisen. And even if it's not like, man, this series is terrifying, they do a lot of scenes that make it like, just in general, like make you think of like, how would this happen in like a horror series? Because that's, you know, there's the way that it's toned, and it works in such a like ominous, creepy way. Like I feel like it would be kind of like in the anime, like Jujutsu Kaisen has done really well in its anime to make some scenes actually way more creepy in the anime than what it was in the manga. And that's just how I can kind of see like it going with Phantom Seer as well. I think both of those series have done excellent when it comes to that, and I think it just gives it its own unique tone in comparison to like all these other series right now. Because I'm really liking like, essentially, like, I keep saying like, I mentioned that in a video recently. I was like, there's always a word that I get fixated on whenever I do a review, and you can hear me like repeat it multiple times until I call it out. But like, I'm enjoying series almost across the board right now for like the big series that I keep up with. I think they're all doing really well, even in like some of like the weaker ones. They're weak in ways that like don't bother me that too much. They're not like, oh man, this sucks. It's just kind of like, I'm not too hard on this one right now. But like the ones that are going crazy, like they're going pretty ridiculous. and I've been really hyped up about like just in manga right now in general. I think they're all in like a pretty good place. And again, Phantom Seer, even early, in a pretty good place. But anyway, other than that, though, comment below, thumbs up the video, prefer the like button, subscribe button, and check out my other videos. Other than that, I appreciate everyone who's already subscribed, and thank you all for listening. Bye.